What's up, everybody? It's Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? Let's go.
Yeah, good to have you on, man. Um, Looking forward to this one. So now we just finished week 3, so the preseason's over. We're heading into the regular season. We got a bunch of roster moves after the postseason. Cuts and trades, a lot of different stuff going on. Um, First off, let's start with the Jags traded wide receiver Laviska Shenault to the Panthers. How surprised were you to see that?
Yeah, very surprised because I thought, Laviscus was going to be a big part of their offense this season. So it kind of shocked me why they would trade him.
Well, the reasoning for it, they said, was because they brought in Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. And so they felt like Laviska was kind of like on the bubble there. Where does he fit in with the offense? How do you see that? I mean, I thought Laviska Shenault had like future star potential, like wide receiver one, at least wide receiver two, didn't you?
Absolutely. The guy is a playmaker. And ever since the days, me watching him when he was at Colorado, I thought he was because he's more of that type of player where you can put at receiver and then put him in the backfield and run the ball a little bit. So I don't
Yeah.
I don't see why you would trade away what they call an athlete on the football field.
And so my take is this. When you got a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who's got the bright future that we all believe he has and the tremendous upside, I'm not trying to take away weapons from him going into year 2. I know they added Christian Kirk. They probably overpaid for Christian Kirk. They added Zay Jones. Man, I would have kept Chenault too. How about you?
Oh yeah, the more the merrier. And Chenault adds breakaway playmaking speed.
Yep.
You
He's
know
got
he
size too, doesn't he? Isn't he like 6'3"?
Yeah, yep. To me, he's an overall playmaker. But hey, it's better for the Panthers. The Panthers just got richer, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, the Panthers, they've already got, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. They added Rashard Higgins, Terrace Marshall Jr. Chenault's 6'1", so all right, I was wrong on that. But um now you add Chenault, who should be wide receiver 3 behind Moore and Anderson. Baker Mayfield, I mean, I think this is a more loaded offense than Baker ever had in Cleveland. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's got weapons, and I think he's gonna do pretty well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this Panthers offense with Baker Mayfield. I felt like he got a bad rap the way everything went down in Cleveland. And, no one talks about his torn labrum and his throwing shoulder all last year. I expect Baker to bounce back in a major way. I mean, what's the ceiling on this Panthers team? They're in a tough division. I don't know about playoffs, but they should be very competitive.
Yeah, I agree. They're gonna take a major step forward, first of all, because you
Yeah.
know Sam Darnold just wasn't that great. He didn't produce much at the quarterback position. Now they have a playmaker at quarterback, so I think they're gonna be better.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm looking forward to Carolina. Jacksonville's still going to be improved than last year. So Jacksonville, their arrow is up, despite trading away Chenault, and Carolina's arrow is way up as well. Um, any surprise in your mind, Baker, over Sam Darnold as a starter?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I think we know what Sam Darnold is at this point. I think he's a backup. You know what I mean? A number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to be because as long as Baker's there, even if Baker doesn't play, amazingly great, and he has a season where he's like a game manager or something, I still wouldn't bring Dalton in. Or not Dalton. Sorry, excuse me, Sam Darnold.
Darnold.
He's a
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good backup. He's just not a reliable starter for 17 games, whether it's injuries or performance or what have you. Cowboys lose tackle Tyron Smith until at least December. How big of a loss is this for the Cowboys?
Yeah, that's a pretty big loss. I mean, they had a good offensive line, but he's a big loss when it comes down to Ezekiel Elliott finally healthy, and you want to have a good run game. But
Yeah, and protect Dak. And we remember it wasn't that long ago when Dak had that massive injury. You know what I mean?
yeah, what was that, like 3 years ago, wasn't it?
2 years ago, I believe it was 2020.
Okay.
So, yeah, the good news is for Dallas, they are looking to get him back in December. So, if they can survive it and be still a playoff team and then get him back in December, they could be fully healthy, at least in that aspect, going into January. So, you
The
know,
question is though, what's their record going to be before he comes back?
yeah, I think they can tread water. I think they'll be above 500. I think if he can come back and they're like, let's say they're 7-7, you've still got an opportunity to go 3 wins and get into the playoffs. Let's say 8-6, you're still in the position to go make the playoffs. So if the Cowboys can play 500 or a little better ball and then get Tyron Smith back, they're all right. Just depends, if it's going to come down to how they finish the season, and you want to be healthy going into January. Um, so there's a lot of talk about Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco, and the Seahawks were actually in talks about trading for Jimmy G. No deal was, they couldn't come to a deal, and at the end of the day, the Niners convinced Jimmy Garoppolo to take a pretty big pay cut and stay as a backup quarterback. How surprised were you to see Jimmy G accept that role?
Okay, so there are two things here. First of all, I'm very surprised, and
Mm.
second of all, this is good for the Niners to have that security blanket. But at the same time, in my opinion, Jimmy G's a starter. I think he's selling himself short.
Well, I agree. He's a starting level talent. Like he can go start. He's good enough. I mean, he's better than both Geno Smith and Drew Lock in Seattle. He's better than Marcus Mariota in Atlanta. He's I would take Jimmy G over Jared Goff in Detroit. I don't know about you, but I would. What do you think?
Yeah, oh yeah. Uh I just think that, he should be starting somewhere, in my opinion. But
You think you would you take Jimmy G over Jared Goff in Detroit?
yeah, just for the simple fact of Jimmy G is a winner and he's proven it. I mean, he could
Mm-hmm.
have, not that not that great of a team and still be a winner.
Yeah, he would get more out of that offense than Goff would. So I look at it, a lot of people are freaking out saying this is a sign that says Trey Lance isn't ready. I don't see it from that viewpoint at all. I look at it as this is best case scenario for San Francisco, a win-win. You're still going with Trey Lance as your starter week one, and the plan is for the entire season. We haven't seen Trey Lance go a full season healthy and see how he does. There's going to be ups and downs in a season. So if Trey Lance struggles at times, or if he gets hurt, you've got the best backup in the entire league now that can step in, and everyone knows he's capable of stepping in and winning games. And if he has to, he can lead you deep into the playoffs like he did last year.
I absolutely agree. And it was very, very smart, in the front office of San Francisco to try to convince Jimmy G. I mean, look, if Lance goes down, we all hope he don't because we want to see what he can do, which I think
Yeah.
is things. But you don't really have to worry because you have a guy who's been there, a veteran, and somebody who's a proven winner.
Now, real quick, from the Seattle perspective, I think the Seahawks are fucking up bad. And for this reason, I'm pretty sure they told DK Metcalf, I know they told Quandre Diggs that they're not rebuilding when they signed their contract extensions. Yet, they have made no effort to upgrade the quarterback position, unless you consider Drew Lock to be that upgrade. But we all just saw Geno Smith won the starting job, so Drew Lock wasn't good enough to earn the starting job. Man, if I'm Seattle and I've got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant, those defenders, I'm trying to win now. I'm not trying to suck. And based on the quarterback play this year, this team's going to suck. They're a 4 or 5 win team. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, Geno Smith over Drew Lock, that just tells you, like you said, about how bad Lock must have been during the training camp.
Exactly. Exactly. He couldn't beat Teddy Bridgewater. He couldn't beat Geno Smith, you know?
So Bridgewater is on that roster?
No, Denver last year. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Oh yeah,
Drew
yeah.
Lock, Drew Lock was supposed to be the starter last year in Denver and couldn't beat out Teddy Bridgewater.
And
Um,
I mean, Quandre Diggs and DK should have known that when Seattle got rid of the heart and soul of that offense, which was Russell Wilson, I would have won it out right then and there.
well, so when I was in Seattle, when Quandre Diggs was given the extension, and Quandre said on the radio or in an interview, he said, I signed here long term because Pete Carroll and the GM, Mike Schneider, I believe his name is, uh, told me that we're not rebuilding. We're competing every year. And so that's why I signed my long term deal here. I'm telling you, bro, if going with Geno and Locke and having a really bad year, a 4 or 5 win year, man, Quandre is gonna want out. DK is gonna want out. Jamal Adams is gonna want out. It's gonna be a complete rebuild in Seattle if they don't turn this around quick. And the problem is, it's not that they've been trying to upgrade the quarterback position and been unable. They just haven't. They've seemed perfectly fine with Geno and Drew Lock when guys like Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo have been readily available for pretty cheap money.
Yeah, and you mentioned all those guys wanting out. How about Pete Carroll's job being on the line? I mean,
Yes.
you
Yep.
know,
You go 4 and 13. I don't care who you are. There's gonna be start rumblings about your job.
and you lived in Seattle, you know how brutal them fans are.
Man, they were the ones trying to run Russell Wilson out of town. So after 2 trips, back-to-back trips to the Super Bowl. So I know it's interesting in Seattle. I don't expect this team to be a contender anytime soon. They just don't seem committed to winning right now. So
Yes.
we'll see. How about Commanders rookie running back Brian Robinson shot twice in a robbery attempt? Good news is both, not life threatening, got released from the hospital, likely to play this season at some point. The Commanders and Brian Robinson literally dodged a bullet this time.
Yeah, that was it's great news that he's in good spirits and alive and all that, but it's just terrible that we live in a world where even NFL players get shot in attempted robbery.
Yeah, they're almost like targeted because they know they got the money.
Yeah, and pretty much if they were to, do something back, then it would be, all that
Yeah,
kind of.
TMZ would be all over it, and the Commanders would be cutting them, and yeah. So all I can say is good news. I'm glad that Brian Robinson's okay. The Commanders fans have to be happy that he's okay, and still might get some production out of him this year. So all
He's
good news there.
from a guy who religiously watches college football. He's a damn good. He at least was a damn good back last year for Alabama.
Oh yeah, and I think he translates to the NFL really well. I think he's the backup to start out. I'm pulling it up now. Who's their starter at running back? I'm pulling it up. Um, but I don't think he's starting right away. Antonio Gibson, and then they have J.D. McKissick. I'd put Brian Robinson as running back too, but maybe after this, J.D. McKissick is your number two.
Yeah, and I think Robinson is the future. Eventually,
Yeah,
he'll probably take over Gibson.
yep, I agree on that.
That's not a
Um,
back room.
Now, Eagles trade safety Eagles trade for safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the Saints, release safety Anthony Harris. The Eagles, man, they are looking dangerous. You know, they trade for A.J. Brown in the draft. They bring in a veteran safety here. How about the Eagles, man? Are they now, along with the injury to Tyron Smith, are the Eagles your favorite to win the AFC or the NFC East?
It could be very possible. I mean, first of all, I love this trade. That was
Yeah.
smart going out and getting somebody the caliber of Gardner Johnson.
Yep.
You
Great.
know,
Yeah.
I just feel like the Eagles, yeah, they're going to be a force in the East, and the Cowboys haven't really shown anything to, clearly take over that division because the Giants aren't going to do anything, and Washington maybe a
Probably
five.
not. Yeah, like 500, but not a threat, really. Yeah. I think so. I mean, as down as we were, the Eagles have done a complete 180 compared to our thoughts of the Eagles going into last year and our thoughts of Philly going into this year. I'm high on the Eagles, and I know you are too.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a good season.
Yeah, I think they're my pick to win the NFC East. Cowboys will probably still make the playoffs, but it's going to depend on health. Um, let's see here. Dolphins release Sony Michel, and he gets picked up by, I believe, the Chargers.
Ooh,
So there's a good get for the LA Chargers. Back up Austin Eckler. Um, Dolphins starting corner Byron Jones, placed on the PUP list, will miss the first 4 games of the season. So they still have Xavier Howard, but no Byron Jones for the first 4 games. So someone like Noah Igbenogany is going to have to step in.
yeah, that's a tough injury right there.
Yep. But the good news is they'll get him back after 4 weeks, likely. The Dolphins released both Lynn Bowden and Preston Williams, two young receivers.
Yeah, I think I mean, they can't keep everybody, and I think they are loaded at talent at receiver, so that was expected.
Yeah. How do you feel about Sky Moore, the Chiefs wide receiver? Do you like him? Do you think he has a big impact with Kansas City?
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be good. I mean, he already has a quarterback that, if you struggle, is going to be able to at least make your game a little bit better.
So he's rocking the number 24, and I love this. That's my thing. That's why I brought up Sky Moore because of his number. I like the talent, but I saw him wearing number 24, and I was like, "Ooh, I really like that." Because the last wide receiver I've seen rocking a 20 number, guess who? Who's that? That's your trivia for the day. Who's that?
Oh, Devin Hester.
Yep. It's so rare. You never see a wide receiver wearing a 20s number, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, when you watch him, I believe he's from North Dakota State.
Sky
And
Moore?
yeah,
No, that's Chris Watson.
yeah, okay,
Sky Moore is from Western Michigan.
yes, Western.
I believe so. Yeah, Western Michigan. So I like him a lot. I'm not sold on the Chiefs this year, but if they're gonna be great, Sky Moore is gonna really have to step up and be a target, be a weapon for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do still got weapons, in my opinion. I mean, everybody's thinking the Chiefs are gonna take a step back, which
They are. Let me just tell you, Chiefs are gonna take a step back this year, Dustin. You heard it here first.
you don't think Kelsey could just double his production of what?
He's
Uh,
not going to double his production. He's going to be a monster. Trust me. But their defenses are going to scheme to take Travis Kelsey out and say someone else beat us. Before, it was Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, and you had to, you can't double them both, can you? Or if you do, someone else is going to beat you. But you can double, triple Travis Kelsey. Um, this receiving core does not scare me. Valdez Scantling, McCole Hardman, and Juju Smith Schuster, and then Sky Moore, that doesn't really scare me the way it did before. Demarcus Robinson was speed. Tyreek Hill was speed. Who else did they have?
Byron Pringle.
Byron Pringle was speed. I feel like they're slower now, and they don't have that explosiveness that Tyreek Hill used to give them, that home run threat. McCole Hardman a little bit, but he's a poor version of Tyreek Hill. I don't see it. Unless Sky Moore is a monster, I don't see it. I see this team. You know what? This is the year the Chiefs don't win their division.
I can see that. I mean,
You want me to
because
take it one? All right, let me take it one step further then. This is the year the Chiefs don't make the playoffs.
oh, Patrick Mahomes.
But bro, remember at some point last year, I believe the Chiefs were 3-4, and Mahomes was struggling, turning the rock over. They got hot, went on that streak, and then that game against Cincinnati, man, that second half in overtime, Mahomes was bad.
Yeah, he did blow it throwing that pick.
It not just he threw what, two picks, and his passer rating was terrible. He was missing throws. He was bad. Mahomes allowed Cincy back into that game, and then threw that pick in overtime, and that was it.
I think the league is finally starting to figure out Mahomes. Like, they didn't have answers for him his, first few years. Now they got him all figured out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say completely, but they're starting to, and I think this is the year people that's going to be a narrative because I just don't see scary when I look at their weapons. Besides Travis Kelce, I mean Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't been the guy a lot of us thought he was going to be either. Remember him coming out of the draft?
Oh yeah, out of LSU.
Yeah, and he hasn't really been that with Kansas City. One guy does scare me though, with some potential like home run threat. Jerick McKinnon's pretty good here in Kansas City. He fits that pretty well.
Yeah, I like it.
But Juju, Valdez Scantling, they're the Chiefs are worse than they were last year. We'll see how worse, but they're worse.
Valdez did pretty well last year though in Green Bay.
Yeah, but it's a different offense. I don't, there's no Devontae Adams taking all the heat, you know? And one big thing, I know you're going to like this point. What was the big key to Kansas City's defense being good last year?
It was Ingram, right?
Melvin Ingram. Where's he at? He's gone.
Yeah, that he can, man, them signing him, he completely turned that defense around.
Guess who else is gone from this Kansas City defense? You should know
Uh,
this, their best player. Well, Chris
Matthew,
Jones is right there, but
Tyrann Matthews,
yeah,
the honey
they
badger.
they filled that hole with Justin Reed, but still. And they did add Carlos Dunlap. They got rookie George Karlaftis, who I'm not sold on. So,
Oh, you're gonna be really quick.
so we'll table that discussion for later. Vikings release Kellen Mond, and Kellen Mond has been picked up by the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that surprised me. I thought maybe Minnesota would keep Kellen Mond, but I guess not.
Um, Going back to that draft, Chris Sims had Kellen Mond rated above Justin Fields.
Yeah, that was kind of not a good take there.
Chris Sims was tripping on that one. They did trade for Nick Mullins, so Nick Mullins will be the Vikings' backup. Um, Here's something. Kellen Mond was drafted one pick before Texans Davis Mills. I mean, at this point, you would say Davis Mills easily, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Davis Mills to me has a bright future. He's still good, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has a big year. Um, the Vikings trade with the Eagles and acquire wide receiver Jalen Rager. How do you feel about that?
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
The Vikings trade with the Eagles and bring in wide receiver Jalen Rager.
Oh yeah, I like that too. To go with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen.
Yeah. Yep. They got weapons and Jalen Rager and then KJ Osborne's still there. And keep an eye on this. Not a lot of people talking about him. 6th round pick out of Michigan State, Jalen Naylor. The two Jalen's additions this offseason might be good for Minnesota. Keep an eye on Jalen Naylor. He's got some talent.
Minnesota overall is a very dangerous sleeper team.
I Are you gonna go ahead and take Minnesota to win the NFC North this year, or are you still sticking with Green Bay?
Man, I'm so torn on that, man.
I'll
Because
tell you what I'm doing. I'm picking Minnesota straight up.
I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. My heart
Hey, he's immunized.
won't.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think Devontae is a big loss. Unless Aaron Jones is a fucking monster this year and the Green Bay defense takes a big step forward with Quay Walker and who's the other guy they drafted? Wyatt.
Oh, Devontae Wyatt.
If those guys step up, then but let's not forget Minnesota added Darius Smith to that defense.
Yeah, it's like I said, Minnesota's gonna be a
Give me
danger.
Minnesota. Give me Minnesota. I think 11 wins. I don't think 12, but 11-6. I could see Minnesota doing that.
So basically, though, for them to do that, you'd have to think that the Packers are gonna get less than 11.
I'll say this. I say Minnesota and Green Bay tie. They both go 11-6. Minnesota wins the tiebreakers and wins the division that way.
Ooh. Okay, man. See, sorry. Everybody knows. Everybody listens to podcasts. I have a special place in my heart for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I will never go against him.
Yeah, but going Green Bay.
Yep, I'm gonna go Packers.
All right, you're gonna have to owe me a 6-pack at the end of the season.
Man, I'm gonna have to owe you a lot.
Browns release Josh Rosen. All right, I got a little bone to pick with NFL media. Can we give up on Josh Rosen already? Can we stop it with the Josh Rosen's a sleeper? Give Josh Rosen the right offense and watch him be a star. Can we stop with that already?
Oh, my take on that is I'm 50-50. I mean, he didn't really, they're right though. He didn't really have it all when he went to Arizona.
Yeah, but I mean, they looked at his skill set and said, "We're taking Kyler Murray."
Well,
We
that's Kyler's levels above, but
Well, then that should tell you right there where Josh Rosen's at. I didn't like Josh Rosen coming out of the draft. I never liked Josh Rosen. I still don't like Josh Rosen. As of right now, I look right.
yeah, you do. That's one thing.
The Browns claim Kellen Mond. I think that's an upgrade. Something goes wrong with who's their is it Jacoby Brissett?
Yep, Jacoby's gonna be the one.
Yeah, he'll be the starter for most of the year. If something happens there, Kellen Mond can maybe step in. Is he quarterback 2 while Deshaun's suspended?
Yep.
They got Josh Dobbs as well.
Yeah, but I think Mond would play over Dobbs.
Okay, I bet you could have a good debate on that on Twitter or whatever. I think a lot of people would debate back and forth on who they would take, Josh Dobbs or Kellen Mond right now. That'd be a good one. I think it's closer than people think. Um, the Bucks release wide receiver Tyler Johnson, and the Texans claim him. I really like this addition for Houston.
Yeah, see, I think Houston got better overall.
I do too, and they got a better coach in Lovie Smith.
Yeah, huh. We all know what Lovey can do, with his time in Chicago and
Yeah. Um, and they got Derek Stingley, they got Jalen Petre. They
yeah,
got How about this? They ended up cutting your boy Marlon Mack, and rookie Damian Pierce won that starting job.
yeah, that surprised me a lot.
You like Marlon Mack, right?
I love Marlon Mack.
But Damian Pierce, I mean, for a rookie to get that start, he must be doing something.
Yeah, he must be really turning some heads in the training camps.
Yeah. So that's something to keep an eye on. I want to see how Damian Pierce does. He might have a little future star in him, and you love to see that out of a 4th round pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, this goes for Texans fans. Just give it time, and I think Davis Mills is going to be pretty good.
He's decent. You can win with him. I'll say that. He's got, I think they can win with him. I think they'll be better than people think. Logan Ryan, the Bucks cut Logan Ryan, but then they bring him back, so that wasn't anything. They expect Logan Ryan to be a starter all season long. Bills released tight end OJ Howard, where he was visiting with Cincinnati. Tough fall for OJ Howard. He's kind of, now he's on the bubble of even making a roster.
Yeah, that man, yeah, like you said, tough out. It's sad. He's
Remember him coming out of Bama? They were talking about him maybe being the best tight end ever.
you
He
know
was
if
getting a lot of hype. So that moves tight end two behind Dawson Knox will be Tommy Sweeney. I would have kept OJ Howard, but if he's not producing, it is what it is. Bill's star corner Tre'Davious White will start the season on the pup list. He'll miss the first 4 games.
Oh, that's rough,
Yeah, it's a tough loss.
especially
Um,
up against the
go,
Rams.
yep, yeah, I know, right? Colts release running back Philip Lindsay. Did you expect him to make the team?
Actually, I did because I thought he still had a little bit of game left in him, but
Yeah, he's fallen off quick the last year or two. Like, in Denver, he was like, one of the guys, but lately he's fallen off.
can I say this real quick? One thing that made me upset about Indy and these releases.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me, with no disrespect, I know he played in Chicago and all this, but why the hell would you not give Jack Cohn a chance? Instead, you keep Nick Foles.
Well, I agree with your sentiment there. I'm not a Jack Cohen guy because I don't really like him at Notre Dame, but you had Jacob Eason, right?
Yeah, we did, but they got rid of him.
Like I would have kept Jacob Eason over him. I would have had my two backups would be Eason and Sam Ellinger. I don't I agree with you on Nick Foles. Like I don't know that he's unless he's your like quote unquote quarterback coach, you know what I mean? Like
He's
what's he doing there?
at quarterback number 2 over Sam, and it's like, dude, Sam turned some heads this preseason. I mean, Sam played damn good football.
Yeah, I would rather have Sam Ellinger be my number two and have Foles at three. I agree with you on that. Um, how about Alec Pierce, the rookie? He needs to have a big impact season, does he not?
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that guy.
They're putting, because we've been talking about it. Me and you have gone back and forth a lot, talking about they should sign Julio Jones, they should bring back T.Y. Hilton, they should get a big name receiver in there. Looks like they're not going to do that. So they're putting a lot of trust on these young guys, Michael Pittman Jr., Paris Campbell, who needs to stay healthy, and the rookie Alec Pierce. That seems to be your big three.
And that's the thing is, man, if Paris can stay healthy, he's he's a star.
Yeah,
That's a hot take, but if Paris can stay healthy, we got 2 stars at wide receiver.
it's interesting. All three of these guys are second round picks. I just saw that.
Yeah, I don't know how why Pittman was a second round pick. That's I don't know. That's a
Speaking of
story for
that, did you see that tweet I got back from Chad Johnson this week on why these wide receivers are falling to the second round and third round?
Yes, I did.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, for Chad Johnson to respond to you.
Yeah, I gotta pull that tweet up so I can read what he said because he had a good response to it too. But I know Paris Campbell, you're gonna have your eyes on him. What do you expect out of Alec Pierce?
I expect him to just be a nice role player, just another weapon for Matt Ryan. And that's the thing is Matt Ryan's good enough to pass somebody open.
Yeah, no, so Matt Ryan is gonna be a lot better than Carson Wentz. I put Matt Ryan on a very similar spot as Philip Rivers. Do you?
Ooh, I think he's a little better.
Maybe a little better, but I think they're pretty similar at this age. Matt Ryan's pretty old. Got a lot of mileage. Might be
Yeah,
a little better though.
but Philip, we knew was going to be out the door.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's got a couple years.
I mean, according to him, he said he had about 5 or 6 good years left, and you
About
know,
5 6. Give me 2 or 3.
hey, just going by with what he said. He knows his body and everything. But anyway, a lot of the players are saying though that Matt is looking awesome.
Yeah, he's always had the talent.
So
Uh, this
I
is
need to
what
pull up both these.
Chad Johnson said. I said, Chad, how do obviously talented wide receivers like DK Metcalf and George Pickens consistently fall out of the first round? I mean, the talent jumps off the screen at you. How are they falling? He retweeted me and said, the draft process is extremely tedious. They do background checks all the way back to elementary, not exaggerating. And any issues during your years as an adolescent, they become cautious when investing so much into financially into high round picks.
Yeah, they can't use what you did as a kid against you. That's pretty crazy.
Well, they're yeah. Sometimes they over, you know, they do too much, and it comes back to bite them. I mean, like I said, I had Green Bay taking DK Metcalf in the first round. He fell the second round. I mean, imagine Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf.
Shoot, imagine Rogers, Metcalf, and Adams. Holy
Oh my
crap!
god. Yeah. Shaq Leonard is off the pup list. You got to be happy about that.
Yes, man, I was getting nervous. I was like, "Ooh, first 4 games, I know our first two are very winnable games." And then I was like, "Oh man!" And then I found out he was back. I'm like, "Yes,
You did make one mistake though. I saw you post that you called Shaq Leonard the best linebacker in football.
absolutely." And this is a hot take. It's not even close.
Well, his name's not Roquan Smith, so I'll just stop you right there.
But how many turnovers does Roquan Smith get? Create a
Man, Roquan is a ball hawk too. Shaq Leonard just went nuts with those fucking strip sacks. He's crazy. He's
he's
a
gonna keep
damn good
going.
linebacker. I'm not gonna hate. Um, Broncos trade linebacker Malik Reed to the Steelers. The Steelers, man, I'm telling you, they're going to be good. Watch for the Steelers defensively. I think the Steelers are going to have one of the best defenses in football.
Oh yeah, I mean they always do.
And TJ Watt is a monster. Malik Reed, Minka Fitzpatrick. I'm just saying, Steelers are going to be nasty.
So, quick question for you: how much of a leeway do you think they're gonna give Mitchell Trubisky?
I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers organization is very, a lot of organizations want to win pretty, right? They want the quarterback position to be pretty. Trubisky's never been that, and Nagy got upset. Bears fans got upset because Trubisky didn't play the game pretty. Steelers don't give a fuck about pretty. The Steelers look at the win loss column, and if you're finding a way to win games, Steelers are going to keep putting you out there. So as long as the Steelers are winning, they're going to keep riding with Trubisky. If he starts turning the ball over, losing games, not doing anything offensively, they'll go to Kenny Pickett. But until that time comes, I think Trubisky goes the whole year as a starter.
Yeah, and I think we see a resurrection out of Trubisky.
Yep. And my hot take, we kind of already did this with our season previews. Whatever. I got the Steelers in the playoffs this year.
Oh, yeah, I disagree, but
I'll say 10-7 for the Steelers. But
oh,
they're in a very tough division, so um your boy Ian Book gets released by the Saints, but the Eagles claim him. He'll be quarterback 3 behind Gardner Minshew.
yeah, I'm glad he got picked up.
Man, speaking of which, you could plug Gardner Minshew into the Seattle Seahawks. He'd be their best quarterback on that roster.
Actually, I I didn't even think about that, man. I love Gardner, and you know how I feel about Minshew, but
Yeah, but Seattle
uh,
refuses to upgrade, bro. They're
hey,
content with Geno and Drew Lock.
you put in Minshew, your your wins go from 4 to at least 6 or 7.
All you need is a competent quarterback who can get the ball to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And Noah Fant's a hell of a tight end too.
Yeah. Oh man, they have weapons.
They do. That's why they're wasting them with inept quarterback play. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be sad. Um, Seahawks. Speaking of Seattle, they released safety Marquise Blair, who was a high draft pick. A lot of expectations out of him, but it never showed up on the field.
Yeah. I mean, there's you got to perform.
Yep. Um, Raiders release first round pick tackle Alex Leatherwood. Do you remember that? Me and you, we didn't have Alex Leatherwood going in the first round of the draft. Uh, was it 2021 or 2020?
I think it was 2020.
Yeah, but he goes in the first round unexpectedly, struggles. The Raiders get rid of him already. My Bears pick him up. I like that move by the Bears because I think he's a late bloomer. Give him a little bit more time to develop. He could be something.
I do too, and he's from Alabama, and Nick Saban produces offensive linemen, pretty well. So
Yeah. So a good move by the Bears. Um, the big news here: the Raiders trades corner Trayvon Mullen to the Cardinals.
I like that. The Cardinals just got better.
Yeah, good move by the Cardinals. A good talent corner Trayvon Mullen. Bet you didn't know this though. He is the cousin of Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he played in just 5 games last year with a foot injury. 4 interceptions in 3 seasons. So his thing might be health. Hopefully for the Cardinals, he stays healthy.
Yeah,
Uh, Bears release quarterback Nathan Peterman, which led to me tweeting, "It's about damn time because get him out of here." They should have released Trevor Simeon too while they were at it, but you know what they say.
yeah, but I mean, if I had a choice, I want Simeon over Peterman.
That's true. That's true. Niners a surprising move here. The Niners waive running back Trey Sermon.
Really? Wow, that I like Trey Sermon when he played
Yeah.
for.
Yep. He's gonna get picked up by somebody. We'll see who. Um,
There's a lot of shocking releases this year.
there are. Here's a good one. The Ravens signed running back Kenyon Drake.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. It's a good fit. I can already see him in a Ravens uniform.
And not only that, but he brings explosiveness.
Yep.
He's a
And
good player.
so yeah, he does. He's got a lot of speed on him, and he's a good pass catcher too. Um, how about this? This surprised me. So we were watching the final preseason game on Sunday afternoon, Lions Steelers, and they were talking about how it was the battle for the backup quarterback spot between David Blau and Tim Boyle. And I was like, both these guys suck. You've heard me say that plenty of times. They cut Tim Boyle, they waived David Blau, and they've since signed Nate Sudfeld to be the backup quarterback.
I like Nate Sunfield. I think he's better than both of them guys.
I agree. So actually a pretty smart move by Detroit.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Hear me out. You ain't gonna like it. This is a hot take, and I don't care what nobody has to say. Detroit is getting 7 wins.
all right. I mean, I can play this on the cold takes at the end of the year if you want.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not gonna say 7 wins for the Lions. I like the confidence. I think 6 wins is their ceiling. I think they win 4 or 5. I think they're improving. I just don't think they improve that much, but we'll see. A big X factor is a healthy Jamison Williams could change a lot in Detroit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He's gonna be good, man.
I just think you're putting too much into that running back room. I don't think that running back room is that good. Do you?
I like the running back room. I mean, DeAndre Swift is so slept on. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but he should be better too. I love DeAndre Swift coming out of Georgia, but you know, I don't see him being 1,000 yard back. I mean, he was 1,000 yards combined receiving and rushing. Now he wants to do it just rushing. I don't see that.
And Williams is easily a 1,000 yard back.
I disagree on that. I think you put Jamal Williams, because remember, he came from Green Bay. You put Jamal Williams in Green Bay, and he's their third best running back.
Oh, you think AJ Dillon's better?
Yes, decently better.
Oh.
I'm not sold on Jamal Williams. He gets a lot of praise for being a funny guy in the media and all that. I don't think he's a number one running back in the NFL. I think he's a good backup.
Look, my thing is, I like Dan Campbell a lot, and I think these men want to play for him.
I agree. And they're building something. I like what they're building. They got a good core. They're building it through the trenches. I agree with all that. I don't mind Dan Campbell now. I mean, I don't like Dan Campbell personally, but I think that his players are buying in. So then that's the biggest compliment you can give to a head coach. But at the end of the day, bro, the Lions don't have a quarterback. And it's a quarterback driven league.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
And I keep looking back at who the Lions could have drafted. Who could they have drafted now? Justin Fields, Mac Jones, uh,
Malik
Malik
Willis.
Willis, Kenny Pickett, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Desmond Ritter, a lot of different guys, and they haven't. When the Lions finally, if the Lions suck this year, which I think is in their best interest to suck this year, and go get someone like C.J. Stroud, then suddenly I'm like, okay, the Lions might have something. But now with Jared Goff,
Yeah, man, I think golf is good enough to get you where you want to be.
all right. But you and Brett both came on the podcast last year at this time and said the exact same thing. And what did I tell you?
He's just not that good.
Yeah, and what the Lions record last year?
Oh man, it was terrible.
So I'll get you to admit it eventually here, but Jared Goff is not very good.
Real
And
quick,
yeah,
what did you think about? Did you see that video about that Amazon Prime ball?
yes,
What do you think about that?
I hate it. Leave the
They,
football alone.
are they really going to use it during Thursday night games?
I hope not, but they might be.
Oh
And they
my!
should leave the football alone. Football is pigskin. It's not meant to be ABA basketball with all these different colors on it. Me and Josh were just debating this the other night.
Like man, why does every good thing got to be messed with?
I know they want to mess with everything. Next they're gonna get rid of fourth down, so it's only gonna be 3 downs of football anymore.
They're gonna start turning the green fields yellow.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to go for two every time. Come on now. There's gonna be no more kickoffs, no more field goals. Get out of
Man,
here with that shit. This isn't arena football.
yeah.
But well, sounds good. I mean, bro, we're getting hyped. The season's right around the corner. You gotta be getting excited.
Oh yeah. I'm my adrenaline's pumping and I'm ready for it. I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna see some surprises, and
Yep.
we're also gonna see some like, oh, I knew they were that good.
Yep. I can't wait. The season kicks off a week from tomorrow night. It'll be Rams Bills, so I can't wait. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. Good shit as always.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Stay tuned. We're planning on tomorrow night having a player interview for you guys. We're working on a couple more. We got college football episodes coming up as well. Big weekend of college football. Dustin's Irish going to Columbus. Big game there. You excited about that?
Man, I'm too excited. I wish the game could be played tomorrow just because I want to see the outcome. I'm either going to be happy or pissed off. But
So either way, we're gonna be on Notre Dame campus watching that game, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Appreciate all the support, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great week, and peace out.